Hi folks, I'm back. I'm finally back. Spidey's back. As I mentioned a couple nights ago, I was basically had to come back because I've been seeing some of these webcasts going in the direction I didn't want to see it go in. So I basically came back and take control of the webcast studio. And as you all know, I was basically on tour in Europe, Asia, and here in the United States for the last month and a half, at book signings and things like that, promoting my movie and stuff like that, and my upcoming movie. I'm looking pretty good, ain't I? Really good tonight. But anyway, it's been a couple nights since I told you about the problems we're having here with the crew that does these webcasts. I needed to take charge again. This is my webcast, and I'm not going to allow it to be degraded in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to talk about, the members. Okay, well, let's talk about the members. Butcher, all he does is drink. Pennywise, all he does is whine about his lost love. Michael Myers sits back there like a doorknob. He's a total dork. Look at him back there, just sitting there like he thinks he's so smug sitting back there, with his knife in his hand, thinking he's all bad and sinister looking. Oh my God, ooh, he's sinister. He's like a statue. I think he's so buzzed out on drugs, he doesn't even know he's standing there. Then we got Leatherface down in the basement chainsawing people up for his new product, his line of meat products. Leatherface cured meats. So basically, it was time for me to step in. And then, of course, the Joker, we don't even know where. He's back in Gotham City somewhere, causing chaos or something like that. So basically, I am back tonight to start a line of very professional movie reviews. And I told you a couple of nights ago, I was going to be reviewing one movie in particular that actually Butcher tried to review, but he was so drunk he made a fool of himself. So I'm stepping in to do the review the way the professional should do it. The movie is called Husk. Now, this is a pretty good movie. It's basically, I'm using that the word. Gotta stop that. If you like haunted scarecrow movies, you shouldn't watch this movie at all. It's pretty scary, and it's brutal and right to the point. It's got no humor in it because it's not meant to be a comedy, not a black comedy or anything like that. It's supposed to be just a straight-laced horror, straight-ahead, straight-laced horror flick. So, this is done by After Dark Pictures. I'm sure you're familiar with them. They got a whole slew of movies out in the horror genre. And there's the cover for it right there, Husk. It's I'll kind of give you a really quick view of it. It's about these kids. Well, it really doesn't have much of a story to begin with. I mean, it has a story later on in the movie, but at first it kind of just gets going right away. These 5 kids are in their car going through a country road, and they're surrounded by cornfields and farms and all kinds of things like that. So all of a sudden, they're talking in the car. They're driving down this country road, surrounded by cornfields. I shouldn't give too much of this movie away. And so what happens is, all of a sudden, a flock of zombie crows or something comes slamming into their windshield. Guts and blood everywhere. Of course, it knocks them off the road, the car off the road. And all the kids basically become unconscious, and so when they wake up later on, maybe, I'm not sure how long they're knocked out. So what happens is they wake up. There's 4 guys and 1 girl. So they notice that one of the guys is missing, and they kind of notice that there's a path going through the cornfield. There's a farm located right in the middle of the cornfield. It is haunted. Trust me, folks, it is haunted. It is haunted by a demented scarecrow that killed his family there some 20, 30, 40 years ago. And he is hell-bent on bringing in new scarecrows. So, they don't realize that the kid's already been killed. And so they follow the path into the cornfield, through the cornfield, into, where the house is, the farm, the cars, and all that kind of stuff. It's a farm, basically. It's a farmer. Of course it's a farmer. And so, you know, they kind of get the idea that something is wrong, because I'm not going to give too many of the scenes away, but they're inside the circle. It's like a big circle with all the barns and everything in the house. The house is really creepy. It hasn't been lived on in for maybe 30, 40 years, and it's basically just haunted, you know, by the lunatic kid. Basically, it's stories about this lunatic kid who killed his father and his brother, and basically the farm is haunted because his soul is basically controlling everything in the farm, and you know, not letting people escape and stuff like that, trying to turn them into scarecrows so he can keep killing people as they find the farm and get sucked into this little nightmare, as I call it. And so they're basically by the house, and they notice this one of their kids, the kid that basically was missing at the beginning of the car crash. He's already dead, and they watch him walk up. Well, he actually walks up to the second floor of this house, and it's like a sewing room house. It's like a sewing room, and he's like a zombie. He's got white eyes and everything. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He's being possessed by the evil scarecrow to sew his shroud, and so he's sitting around this old sewing machine. You know, first what he does is really creepy, man. He takes these nails and he pounds them through each, like big old, you know, like long nails. He pounds them through each of his fingers on his left, I think his left or right hand. So that's how they kill the scarecrows. They're new victims. So they're hanging, you know, they're pounded halfway through. They're kind of like little daggers, all 5 of them. So he pounds those all through his fingers. Oh my God, it's gross. With the hammer, boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's pretty creepy to watch that, man. And then he starts to sew his scarecrow shroud on. You know, he's got this pedal mounted, you know, the one to use your foot to control the speed and, you know, the power it. And he's basically controlling, you know, he's making this goddamn, you know, the shroud for him. And once he puts that shroud on, he's completely possessed. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He's basically just following instructions from the evil scarecrow, because he's basically under the control of the evil scarecrow. The kid that murdered his brother and his father like 30, 40 years ago, like I said earlier. And so he doesn't, this kid is completely evil, this dead scarecrow teenage kid. And so it's a great movie. It's got lots of atmospherics. It's got great, if you like gore and right to the point horror and scarecrows, and these scarecrows are fast. The farm is just loaded with them in the cornfields. You know, once you get trapped in there, you are dead meat, because they only operate one at a time. And once they get you, they slash you to death. And then basically they drag you. Of course, you come back to life again, and then you walk up into the house, up to the second floor, and you basically start doing the same thing as I explained to the other just a couple minutes ago. The kid that had the fingers. Oh my God, it's just creepy. So that basically he's recruiting an army of dead zombie scarecrows. And it's actually a really good movie. It's got a great story. It's creepy as hell. The cast is they make it believable. They're very good actors. They're all like their mid-20s or something. And so the scarecrows, you know, they start picking off each one of these kids one at a time. I think the girl is next. She gets killed, and of course, you know, the other members are already been hacked up by the scarecrows. They're still alive, you know, human-like, alive like me or whatever. But you know, she basically walks up to the second floor just like the kid before. She's dead. She basically pounds those nails through her fingers, and then starts sewing her little death shroud, or scarecrow death shroud, and it's just so creepy. It is so creepy, man. And then all of a sudden, her boyfriend is just up there in the room with her, and he's looking at her through a window, and she just kind of like turns her head after she finishes her death shroud, or what do you want to call it, looks at him, and just puts it on and starts to come after him. Yeah, it's great. It's a great movie, man. You got to check this movie out. It came out in 2011. It's called Husk, and I would truly recommend this movie if you like really well done independent horror movies. It is very well done. 2011. There's really nobody of any fame in this. It's mainly actors. It's a very small cast. I don't think there's more than Of course, we have flashbacks to the father and the farmer father and the two teenage kids that were farming the farm, you know, something like 30 years ago, whatever it was. So the cast is probably no more than 8 people at the very most. You got the 5 kids in the car, and then you got basically the two teenage kids, and then the sadistic father who's beating those kids all the time. Of course, they wanted to kill him, and they did. At least one of them did. And you know, the evil scarecrow kid, he basically traps his kid, his brother, in the middle of the cornfield. They're building new scarecrows. They're still alive, of course, and he takes the pitchfork and he just kills his kid brother, or his older brother, to death. He stabs him about 20 times with the pitchfork. Then, of course, he mounts him up on his cross, his scarecrow cross, and he turns him into a scarecrow. And it's all haunted. It's, you know, it's just like, you know, it's people who are just insane, and it all turns into some supernatural scarecrow movie, you know, and it's very well done. There's another scene here. I shouldn't really give too many scenes away, where the kid that's looking at his girlfriend make her death shroud in the sewing room on the second floor of the house. He's out in the cornfield, all hacked up in the thing, and she's standing in the cornfield looking at him with you know, the scarecrow clothes on and her hood and everything. And she walks up to him like, you know, real casual, like she's gonna be friendly and stuff. And he's got a shotgun pointing at her, and he knows she's fucking dead, of course. And then all of a sudden, you know, she gets really close to him, and she just goes banshee on him. Just starts knocking him to the ground and slashing him with her nail weapon, you know, and kills him. And of course, he goes to the farmhouse on the second floor and turns himself into a, you know, he sews his. It's pretty good. It's kind of like a repeating theme on all these kids. They basically kind of do the same thing, that each one, you know, they basically get killed one after another. All 4, well, 3 of the boys die, 3 of the guys die, and the girl dies. But then there's this one kid who's kind of dorky. He keeps having visions. He actually escapes at the end, and I shouldn't have told you that, but it leaves it open as a cliffhanger, as a sequel coming or something like that. So basically, during the whole movie, when he's all slashed up and everything, and he's trying to fight for his life to get out of the cornfield, because once you're on the road, you're safe. Once you go into this cornfield, you're dead meat. You're fair game to these zombie scarecrows. So basically, during the movie, when they're trapped inside the cornfield, he keeps having a number of visions about what had happened here, like 30 years ago, with the farmer and his 2 boys. So, you know, and I don't know why they might let him go, because he has some kind of a you know, visions of what happened. So he tells the other members of the you know, the other kids what's going on here, and you know, and of course, you know, they don't believe him, because, you know, how can you have visions of something 30 years ago? But he can just see what's happening. He like visuals in front of him, the farmer beating his kids and stuff, and the kid killing his brother with a pitchfork out in the middle of the cornfield. And so, but anyway, you know, this movie, it's really a really good movie. I mean, it's got a really, like I said before, it's got a really great original story. It's got some great, you know, soundtrack music. It's very gory, very bloody, and if you don't like really creepy scarecrows and, you know, stuff like that, I really wouldn't recommend this movie. Oh, I got it backwards. Oh my God, I've had it backwards the whole time. Ooh, what a doofus! Let me poke myself in the eyes. Ah! Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. So I would rate this movie pretty darn high. You know, Butcher gave it like a 8 or something, Butcher Knives or something, a few nights ago. I'm gonna rate this movie pretty high. It's, like I said, it's After Dark Pictures, 2011. They got a whole slew of good horror movies. I got to check them all out because they sound like. Ooh, listen to that rain. It's pouring outside. Like I said, it's very well directed. You know, very well produced. It's you know, it's well worth having in your collection. I would truly recommend it. At least go rent it or something, or maybe get it on Netflix or something. But check this movie out. It's perfect for Halloween. It's perfect for any night of the week if you're really into a really creepy type movie. You know, especially scarecrows. A lot of people are frightened of scarecrows. I'm not, because I'm kind of like a scarecrow. You know, so I can't really show you too much because the box art is kind of, you know, reflecting off my lights in the studio here and stuff like that. So Scarecrow is pretty cool. You can kind of see him a little bit right there on his cross in the cornfield. Yes, it's pretty good. I don't know what more I can say without giving... Of course, I shouldn't really give the ending away, but I'm going to anyway. The kid that sees all these visions during the movie, they let him go. So basically, he makes his way out to the road where the car crashed in the first place of his dead friend's car. And so the Scarecrow is chasing him. And basically, he's just laying there at the very end, you know, next to the road, next to the car, still alive, bloody, but screwed up really bad, you know, almost on the verge of death, but he doesn't die, I don't think. And then all of a sudden, the evil Scarecrow comes walking out to where he is, lays down somewhat beside him, and looks right at him like this, you know, and then lays down next to him and fakes it like he's dead. So the next group of suckers who come along will have the same problem. They'll see the Scarecrow down there, and they'll just assume it fell off at the Scarecrow cross or something like that, and then the whole thing will start all over with, you know, a whole bunch of new people, you know, whoever may happen to, you know, stop at that particular point and see a Scarecrow laying halfway out of the field, and you know, somewhere in that general area. So you know, it's really a good movie. I mean, it's really creepy. I mean, it's like I said, it's very well acted. It's believable. You know, it's the special effects are very good. The flashbacks are very good of the three actors who, the farmer and 2 kids, and so basically, yes, I said basically. They are pretty good about not saying basically. I think it's only twice I've said basically tonight, except I just said it again. Yes, yeah, I keep flashing that movie. But anyway, it's a very well done movie, and Butcher, I think a couple nights ago, his drunken ass gave it an 8 or something like that. I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 Spiderwebs because I think this movie is very well done. Oh, listen to that. I believe it was, you know, like I said before, a very well done movie. You know, it's, I don't want to keep elaborating on everything I've said before, but, you know, I would truly recommend that you put this in your collection if you're really into, like, demented dolls, you know, dead dolls and zombies and clowns and Scarecrow type movies. It's one of the better ones I've actually seen. It's actually, you know, more professionally done. I'm not sure. I'm sure the budget wasn't very big, but you know, it looks real. The special effects are outstanding. So I'm going to give this 8.5 Spiderwebs because it's just worth having in your collection. Oh God. So I think we're going to end this. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who stuck with us during this turmoil that we're having here on the webcast. Like I said, I'm going to be taking control of it again because I am the most seasoned movie reviewer here, and I think I do the best job. I don't fumble my words like Pennywise and Butcher and, you know, Michael Myers and all those people. You know, I basically come across a little more professional and straightforward. So, you know, I think you should listen to me when I recommend this movie. You can look it up. You know, go to YouTube or something like that, or whatever it might be, or check out a clip of it. You know, it's called Husk, just like I said, Husk, H-U-S-K, 2011. Anyway, we're going to be doing some new stuff here with the webcast in the very next couple of weeks. So look for some improvements here and maybe some new guest reviewers and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say it's good to be back, and I'm happy that y'all stuck with us, and we're doing pretty good. We got, you know, 60, 70 subscribers already. We got something like 2,200 not likes, but, you know, views, and we're doing pretty good. So I want to thank everybody for that, and so watch for me on the very next webcast. because I think I'm going to be doing these for quite some time again and let these other guys take a rest. They're bumbling idiots, you know, these other crew members like Pennywise and Leatherface, and they need a rest. But Pro is back in town. Like I said, I'm back in town to take control. So until then, check out Husk, and we'll see you next time at the movies. Bye.